Morning, Tamanna. I think clearly, markets are quite positive on Indus Towers. I think if you look at the performance of Indus Towers in the last 2, 3 quarters, they've been doing remarkably well. And I think Vodafone's decision was expected from a long time. I think the broad indication is that the money received from Indus Towers sale would use to partly repay the debt part. The company has also taken a board resolution to raise some funds to, repay some debt on the books. So I think the markets would definitely be a little comforted because debt issues for Vodafone continue to be quite high. Any reduction in the debt is definitely a good sign because that would actually lead to better cash flows. And I think markets are hopeful that at least in the next say 2 to 3 months, if ARPUs increase and if subscriber additions start moving in the positive territory, then that should benefit Vodafone. Indus Towers definitely seems very well positioned. Maybe today's block deal could see a little bit of knee-jerk, reaction on the stock. But I think it's a good opportunity to accumulate the stock in case the stock opens in the negative. Because typically we see that whenever such block deals are executed, initially the stock, trend is weak, and thereafter it recovers. So I think we are positive on Indus Towers. Vodafone, I would believe that at the current level it can only consolidate. So it's not a buy. We would suggest a hold. I think we believe that the roadmap and the runway for growth for Sansera is very solid, considering the kind of order book they enjoy. And I think interestingly, their new facility caters to the defense, aerospace sector. So these are high growth sectors. So our sense is that most of these components are going to be machined components. And I think considering the kind of order book and the growth opportunity, it would not be surprising to understand that FY25 should be a lot better than FY24. The management commentary has also been quite encouraging, and I think the stock took a little more time to get re-rated. But I think at these levels, there are a lot of funds. Hopefully, this bulk deal which has happened, we would be coming to know that who are the buyers, by the evening. So that would also give a little more stability and comfort to the market. So I think any decline definitely could be a good opportunity to accumulate. I think we are expecting stronger numbers for FY25. Tamanna, Bharat Forge definitely qualifies as a long-term portfolio candidate, but the stock has moved up also quite significantly. We expect the defense business, the aerospace business, and the oil and gas business to contribute significantly. One thing which is very clear for Bharat Forge is that they continue to remain market leaders in the axle segment, especially for Class 8 trucks. And that is something which I think the markets always monitors these numbers. But I think in the domestic market also, key players like Tata Motors have given a very strong, robust kind of guidance, not only for the domestic market, but even for the JLR, segment. So indirectly, I think there is definitely going to be a big basket of opportunity for players like Bharat Forge. So I would believe that Bharat Forge operates in the heavier forging sub component segment. So that way, I think they should definitely do well. But yes, valuations are not cheap. I think they are fair to expensive. So any decline from here could be a good opportunity to accumulate. Yeah, exactly. I think Tamanna, the coming budget could possibly boost rural, markets by announcing some soaps for fertilizer companies. I think within the fertilizer space, integrated players like Coromandel, RCF, or for that reason, Chambal, these are definitely companies which should benefit because they have a very large geographical base, a very wide product kind of basket, and I think a very large, customer base in terms of the farmer reach. And most importantly, there have been some news reports that possibly, some GST meeting is going to be lined up, and there some GST kind of related issue also could benefit these fertilizer companies. So I think budget is definitely a big trigger. I think we do hope that rural India is going to get some package, and that could possibly include some benefits for the fertilizer companies, so that these companies obviously benefit, but the end user also indirectly gets a better kind of pricing kind of benefit, as far as their usage is concerned. So I think stocks like Samvardhana, Motherson, I think Neeraj look pretty interesting, considering the fact that both in the domestic and the international markets, traction has been very solid. So I think Samvardhana, Motherson, even at the current odd levels, can definitely be considered. Although the stock has moved up, our sense is that hopefully FY25 should be a lot better, and we could see levels of around 230, 240 here. And I think within the large cap space, Neeraj, I would not like to ignore two large names like Mahindra and Tata Motors. I think M&M came out with a very strong kind of outlook in their management call, and I think that definitely is a stock where possibly we could see levels of 32, 3300. So I think Tata Motors has now said very clearly JLR is going to generate a free cash flow, which is going to be extremely solid. Plus, new products are going to be lined up in FY25. So I think these are also names which I think one should obviously look at on every decline. I think these are bets which should do exceedingly well in the coming financial year. Yeah, I think, Tamanna, I think we continue to be positive on stocks like Bharat Electronics. Our sense is that, this is one of those stocks where the legroom for upside is still quite solid, considering the fact that, they've got a 75,000 crore order book. Any decline should be used as a good opportunity to accumulate. We believe that around 350, 360 is the near-term target for Bharat Electronics. And hopefully, once the budget is announced, we are expecting some more fireworks. I think some big announcements could be made this time. And I think that is definitely going to benefit the larger names like Bharat Electronics, something like a Bharat Dynamics, and most importantly, HAL, which now is likely to get a 45,000 crore order from the new light combat aircrafts. So I think these are very large opportunities which could give, good amount of visibility for the next, 2 to 3 years going forward. No, I think power is one area where I think the government could announce major reforms, power distribution, power financing. So I think companies which are in the generating space, companies which are into the distribution space, specifically companies like Tata Power, or for that reason in the transmission tower space, something like a KEC International. I think you're going to see a lot of action in the power generating basket, as well as in the power distribution and the power finance basket. So I think this could be a good opportunity for people who want to take a call. Plus, on electric vehicles, I think, Tamanna, there could be a lot of news flow. Companies which are already into electric vehicle spare parts or electric vehicle chargers, these could be companies which should be on your watch list.